Morning. Hopefully everyone had a good Christmas. Happy holidays to everyone. Yesterday for me it was good. Spend time with family and watch some football. I will say, you stay thinking about the Chargers as well though. So it was a good time to spend with family, and now we're back at work. Talk to the guys a little bit about compartmentalizing. When you're with your family, you're with your family, but now it's go time, it's show time, and we have to get ready to play a good football team here Saturday. Fire away.
What's that balance like now going forward? All football in a short week coming off the holiday. What's your biggest message to them?
Yeah, it's all about football, and it's about execution. It's not about the weather. It's not about any of those outside things. It's not about the family being in town. As soon as you cross the white lines, it has to be all about football. As soon as you enter these doors, it has to be all about football. We're here to win football games, and that's what we intend to do.
How much, if at all, do you talk to the players about embracing the role of spoiler?
Yeah, we've had those conversations. And I would also say, it just goes back to whoever's playing the best that day is going to win the football game. What you did last week or the week before really doesn't matter, and that's the beauty about this game.
How much work did you guys do on Ladd McConkey into the draft? Do you remember?
Yeah, we did some work on him. A guy that can get open versus man-to-man coverage. And look, he's playing well right now. He also does a good job finding space in the zone coverages, and he's definitely a player you got to keep your eye on.
When it came to not selecting a player like that, how much was it due to his position, being a slot receiver, and you guys having a slot receiver?
I mean, look, as a whole, I would say we're always looking to improve our roster. Now, what position that happens to be could change on a daily basis, during those times. So, look, we got the guys that we have here, and our focus is just on this game.
Jerod, on Tuesday, Ben Brown not that he didn't participate in practice, and then when the projected injury we're looking at yesterday was the same thing. Are you preparing for potentially putting Cole Strange in that position? Like, how are you planning Ben Brown suffered from this concussion right now?
Yeah, Ben Brown's in the protocol, and once they go into the protocol, it's really out of our hands. It's in the league's hands. Now, in saying that, we have to have guys ready. And so, you think about Lacidus, you think about Cole, you think about those guys, and they got to be ready to go.
I know Kyle is healthy enough to play. He's been playing a lot. Also been listed with the same ankle injury for it feels like most of the season. How much do you feel like that's hampered the Kyle Duggar you know and coach when he's healthy? How big is that gap?
Yeah, I don't want to get into how big the gap is. What I will say is, Duggar's obviously pushing through something, and we all appreciate it, from our perspective. That's what football is all about. This time of the year, there are many people dealing with nagging injuries that may or may not have to get addressed at the end of the season, but he's doing his best, and we appreciate it.
Right, the position you're at, obviously, your first year coaching, the players, as you know, have staunchly defended you, but also they've said what we've seen from him is the same thing we're trying to do, is growing from day one to where we are now, where we want to continue to grow. What are some of the things that you've grown best at, and also grown with the players at doing what you do?
Look, I understand the question. It's a great question. That's more of a after the season type of reflection point for me personally. I appreciate the players and wanting to go out there and play hard every single day. I know our record sometimes it's hard, when your record's like this, to go out here and play on a down after down basis. And the guys have been doing that.
You talk about compartmentalizing, and for many, many years, nobody did it better than this team. Whenever it was facing off the field, on the field, week to week. What are the keys to compartmentalizing?
Yeah, to me, it's just, look, this is a job. It's a sport that we all grew up, dreaming of playing the NFL at the highest level. And sometimes I think, just in general, me as a player, you forget that it's a job sometimes. And that's the one thing that these guys have to remember. You can break it down all you want to on family, but it is a job. So.
We heard from Keon on Tuesday. He was pretty hard on himself. He'd been playing, especially against them. And just in general, talking about I'll take any no moral victories from me. We're here to win, and if we're not winning, it sense that frustration. You sort of balance that with again, the hard work part of it works. If we just keep at it, maybe we'll get there.
Yeah, I think it's commendable, for Keon to sit there and look in the mirror himself. And you have to be honest with yourself. I have to be honest with myself, and so do the rest of the coaches and players. And oftentimes that's very difficult. And going back to Keon, he recognizes that, and he's taking steps to get better for these last couple of weeks of the season. That's doing extra work. That's doing extra treatment, extra in the weight room, all of those things. So hopefully we get the Keon that we all want to see here on Saturday.
What did you think of Marte Mapu's performance last week, and is he one of the players that you want to continue to see more of? And you mentioned young guys get more chances.
Yeah, it's good to get Marte out there. You know, a guy that's versatile, smart, can play safety, play linebacker. For him to get that interception, obviously we want him to stay in the end zone, but that was a huge play. And then, you know, I think it was the next play, he had an opportunity to get another one. And, you know, he's another guy that, you know, he still has room to grow, and I think he recognizes that.
You obviously the short week holiday and the fact that Jim Harbaugh's teams are always among the toughest, whatever level, wherever he's been. How much do you think this game might be a reflection of the toughness and focus you want to see from your team?
You know, I'm not sure. You know, I think the guys are dialed in. You know, we had our squad meeting this morning, and the guys had a great Christmas with their family, and they're ready to go out here and play, and that's what we need to do.
We've talked a couple times this year about Keyshawn and kind of his growth and his development in the course of the season.
Booty.
Yeah, Booty.
Yeah.
The last few games, the production has been pretty impressive. What is he doing now maybe that maybe he wasn't doing earlier this season?
I don't know about now. I would say, like, coming into the season, he's shown tremendous growth off the field. You know, you can tell, you know, he's really a professional. He's putting in the extra work, and it's showing up on game day.
You've seen, you know, oftentimes coaches can see, you know, when you're winning, guys, it's easy to see who the football players are, who really wants a kid. Have you seen that in the losing here, even though it's tough to lose? If any player separated themselves as a guy that comes to work every single day, cares immensely, do you see that separation?
It's, you know, I always talk about the cream will eventually rise to the top, and going through these tough times with our feet to the fire, you really start to see the guys that are with you and the guys that aren't. I would also say, you know, you grow through pain, you grow through these types of experiences, and, you know, with our record, I mean, we all have a lot of room to grow.
Following up on Sophie's question about center, you mentioned Lasitas and Cole. Is that a situation where they sort of competing to step in there, or is there sort of a clear, hey, if Ben's not there, we know it's going to be one or the other?
Yeah, we'll see how it goes today. We'll see how it goes today.
Try to, you know, I know you talked about the defensive talent, Durbin, Bosa, Khalil Mack the other day, but from a coaching standpoint, Coach Minter and his staff, what do you admire about how they play defense?
Yeah, for me, it's the versatility, and I grew up in a versatile defense. We coach versatile guys, and I would say, you know, you look at their guys, you know, defensively, they're all versatile players. I know you always talk, you know, we talk about Bosa and Mack rushing, but those guys can also drop. You talk about Derwin James, like he can play one snap, he could be in the middle of the field. The next snap, he could be blitzing off the edge, and so I think he does a good job just putting those guys in positions to go out there and maximize their athletic ability.
I know you were laughing along the rest of us when you saw Hunter and Greg coming together for the go to the podium.
Yeah, how did that go? I just told, when I walked out here, I just said, "Yeah, you guys go in there, 2-for-1." And how did that go? I didn't watch it.
It went well.
All right, perfect.
But what is it about that connection that you've noticed throughout the season? I mean, they're coming in the podium together. So
Yeah.
clearly that's growing.
You know, I would, not only Hunter, I would take that entire room. You know, when you talk about consistency, and I've talked about, we need to be more consistent as a team. But when you look at that tight end room, that's probably our most consistent room in the building right now.
Game management, for someone that's never put on the headset and been a head coach in the NFL, what's one thing that maybe someone that hasn't put on the headset and done that job wouldn't know now that you've experienced it on making all those game management decisions?
I think the main thing is just staying ahead of the game. And really, it's about anticipation. And, when it's all said and done, I have to make a decision that I think is going to put us in the best chance to win. All right. Happy holidays.